The speech was equivalent to Ronald Reagan's Morning in America speech, which was a positive outlook on the world, and I think that Republicans can embrace him because of Ronald Reagan. It's very similar to that. It's positive, it's optimistic. He actually believes that they're going to cooperate with him.
You think Republicans embrace that?
From his mouth to God's ears, they should start cooperating and get this country going and stop this gridlock, because it's not patriotic. Agree from both sides.
And I don't think there's a long reach. These weren't Hail Mary passes. Let's at least have a vote on gun control.
He wasn't saying.
Let's have a $9 minimum wage. Let's have real comprehensive immigration reform with some teeth in it. I mean, basically, he was moving the ball maybe 1 foot to the left of the goal.
This isn't what Bush was trying to do. Bush was trying to do something big with Social Security. It was basically a home run or go home.
What's the left-wing part? Objectively, was there a left-wing piece to the speech last night? I mean, truly left. I didn't see it.
How about you, Nina?
Well, it made me feel pretty good. I mean, I thought it was a great speech.
He looked like he belonged there. Unlike President Bush, who sometimes seemed like, what is this guy doing there? Even if you like him, he doesn't really belong. He showed natural leadership, and that alone made a big difference.
You know, a friend of mine said, "Oh my God, we have a president again." Now, in some ways that's not fair to Bush, but that's the way you felt. You felt this was a guy who was totally in charge.
Came right out of the box and said, make no mistake about it, we are going to recover. That's the most important thing he wanted the country to hear last night. He began on hope, he ended on hope. Now, in between, there's an awful lot of hard things to be done, but I think he made a start at inspiring hope out in the country.
What can the Republican response be, however, to one in which there seem to be so many themes? How do you come out against recovering the nation's sense of self and its optimism? How do you come out against words like boldly, wisely, swiftly, and aggressively?
Bobby, I'll say it as I said before the speech tonight by the president, is running for the outside rail of the Republican Party, the right-wing rail, and that's all the room that's left on that side, because Barack has grabbed the center with the charm he showed tonight and his excellent rhetoric.
But our president seems remarkably unruffled by all of this, serene in an inner confidence that he's got what it takes to lead this country back into the sunlight. It occurred to me watching the president last night, Wolf, that he was born to do exactly what he was doing. He had that place in the palm of his hand for the entire time he was in that room, and that can be a tough audience, a tough room to work.
Yeah, he knows how to give a speech, I must say.
Leading off tonight, the battle last night. It was his debut, and he wowed us. That's the running headline from last night's presidential address to the Congress. Barack Obama gave a great speech filled with upbeat themes, common sense economics, and a strong personal agenda on health, education, and energy. I was trying to think about who he was tonight, and it's interesting. He is post-racial, by all appearances. I forgot he was black tonight for an hour. He's gone a long way to become a leader of this country and passed so much history in just a year or two. I mean, it's something we don't even think about. I was watching, I said, wait a minute, he's an African-American guy in front of a bunch of other white people, and there he is, President of the United States, and we've completely forgotten that tonight.
If presidential leadership were only about giving speeches, the jackhammers would already be at work on Mount Rushmore. I mean, in many, many ways, this is one of the most conservative speeches that a Democratic president has given since, I think, the middle of Bill Clinton's time.
And in many ways, you felt this speech tonight was almost downright Reagan-esque. There have been some comparisons made in recent days about how this could be his Reagan moment. Do you think it was in any way?
He kept talking about winning the future, and that was always a big theme about Reagan. He was clearly striking rhetorical notes that reminded me of Mr. Reagan.
I think he was trying to invoke the optimism, the can-do spirit that brings to mind Ronald Reagan in these settings.
Full of sunny optimism, very Reagan-esque, on and on about American exceptionalism in many, many instances, and full of Kennedy-esque encouragement to break a new frontier. That Sputnik moment was remarkable.